Welcome back. Today I am working on the Durango and I need to weld the lower valence on. So I almost forgot to weld it on until today, and I just noticed, I was like, oh, I forgot that. So as you guys remember, I pulled the one off the parts Durango. Before I weld it on, I'm going to scrape all of this foam out. So this foam is very, very flammable. I've said this before, but I'm going to show you exactly how easy. You can already see there's some burnt spots, and that's from welding some stuff up here. A welding spark flicks in here, lights it on fire. The issue is when the panel's on there, you can't get back there. So it will just burn, and it's not a good thing. So we have a lighter. We can show you how easy this stuff lights on fire. I mean, and it's super hard to put out once there's a panel on there. So I'll scrape all that stuff out, make sure we don't have any fires. I mean, I can't stress enough how flammable this is. If you light this stuff on fire behind a panel or in a rocker, like when I'm welding these quarters, I pretty much just go very slow around the foam. Just pretty much do a weld. I mean, pretty much just get it so it heats the metal up and then just stop. And then I just move over a little bit and just continue that wherever there's foam, where I don't pull it out of the panel. On the driver's side, you guys saw that I pulled it all out, and there is a very good reason, because I didn't want it to light on fire. So I will be refoaming it after I get all these panels back on and before I paint the car, but we'll get that welded on, and then I need to glue the roof on and put the foam on the roof. So there is a few different types of foam, and there's a few different types of panel bond. So I guess I'll just show you what I'm using. So this right here is panel bond. I'm using this, what is this? Plo grip or something? I don't know. It's Pleo grip or something like that. So I got it from the paint store. I've used it before, it works good. valence welded on the Durango, and I'm gonna grind all these spot welds down or plug welds. As you can see, these look really nice, but I just want them to be flat. This one actually is pretty flat, so is that one, but I want it to be flat so when I paint the Durango, it's just nice and smooth. You'll never see that, but the rest of it is the same way. I ground all the ones down, and it just makes it look a lot nicer finished. So what I'm gonna do now is I wanna set the roof in, and I was gonna have to grind some stuff down, but I think I'm gonna have to use my angle grinder because I'm using this Husky air compressor. It developed a rod knock, so that's not working anymore. And tonight, the new diaphragm for the other air compressor should be here, so I can put that to get back together tomorrow and start using that again. Because it was just, blew the diaphragm, is just leaking a bunch of air, getting very annoying. So yeah, let's get this roof set in, and then tomorrow we can pretty much seam seal it and go from there. I mean, that's pretty much all that's left on the Durango, and then we can start situating the inside, situating the wiring. I'm going to come in here and pretty much just hit this with some Destroyer Gray so it's all uniform, and all the spots that need it, and then pretty much put all the wiring back in. I could put the interior, then we could get to work on the body work on the outside of the Durango, as well as I want to put the adjustable arms on this thing, get alignment, and kind of go from there. So I'll probably do that before I paint it, but other than that, I mean, she's really coming together. I decided to test fit the taillights, the rear hatch, and the rear bumper one last time, just to make sure there wasn't gonna be any weird alignment issues. And I'm very happy that there aren't, because to get this all the way back apart, to fix any of that, would take a ton of work. So just make sure that you test fit a million times and measure a bunch of times, because in the end, you have a perfect gaps throughout your car, especially this hatch. So the Charger has a really nice hatch alignment, and besides the Charger, this is probably the best hatch alignment on a Dodge vehicle, because the ones from the factory are awful. So look at that tail light. Look at that. Nice and perfect. Nice and perfect. Look at that. Whew. Nice and smooth transition. And then on the bumper down here, we have a nice tail light gap. And then this isn't all the way bolted in, but we have a nice bumper gap. Then on the bottom, it's a nice even gap all the way across. It's not angled, it's just perfectly flat. And for how far I had this Durango apart, it was a ton of work to get it like this. So I had this thing all the way down to the skeleton, but what I wanna do now is get this roof set in. So let's get to grinding, pull the hatch back off, pull the rear bumper, the tail lights. We'll get the roof back on there and ready to go. And then after that, she'll be ready to body work. And I'm pretty excited to body work this thing and see it in the green. Like I said before, I'm gonna spray the roof gloss black and possibly the wing. Somebody mentioned spraying the wing, but I don't know, because it's part of this. I might just leave it green, or I could do the top of the wing black, just mask it, and then do this edge right here in green. That'd be kind of cool, maybe. Maybe I'll do that. So we'll see, but let's get the roof on there. The roof skin is finally welded on the Durango and everything is now fixed. There's no more damage. It was a lot of work pulling all of the damaged sheet metal out of this thing. I mean, I had to go as far as pull the passenger side quarter panel off to get everything fixed correctly. But now we have the roof on there, everything's welded on there, and I could technically drive this thing again. I was kind of sketched out from driving it because that whole apron right there was kind of, you know, the spot welds were taken out of it, and I feel like it adds some support to the strut towers up here, that whole beam right there. So I didn't want to drive it. I pulled it in and out of the shop. That's about all I did with it. Then back here, I pretty much want to go and I got some single stage paint, which is technically like a base clear, and I want to get all this one color. So it's all gray again. So I got some Destroyer gray and it's single stage, and since it's on the interior, it really doesn't matter. It'll be nice and glossy and it'll all look the same. Then in the next video, I want to also get seam sealer in the gutters, and then we can start body working this car. It's probably not going to take that much time because there isn't much that I really need to address. There are a few things up here when they pulled this, well, when they cut this whole quarter panel off, there's a few dents on this sill, but I hammered and dollied most of them out. So hopefully it's just, you know, it's probably gonna just be a little tiny skim, some 80 grit, and then we'll get this thing in high build primer, figure out what else needs to be addressed after that. Hit it with a block, figure that out. But I'm really happy that she is finally fixed and ready to go. And it's going to be so nice to see this in striker green. So there are a few decisions that I need to make. I need to make a decision if I'm going to paint the roof striker green or not. I was thinking about painting it the same color as the FD, which is brilliant black. But somebody mentioned that I could put the stripe back on it. And if I had the stripe on the roof in striker green, I think that it would kind of break it up. So it's a possibility the roof might be green, but I'll probably end up painting this stripe on there instead of having it a sticker. So instead of having, you know, this whole thing right here, I don't know, maybe I might just come straight down with it and not have this right here like that. I don't know. Still a lot of decisions, but I'm gonna end the video here. Really happy that Durango is so close to being painted striker green. If you like these videos, make sure to click that subscribe button, throw a thumbs up, throw a comment below. As always, see you guys next time.